Hi everybody, this is Kevin, and welcome back to another comic book review, going back into the long box for the back issues, taking a look at Spawn and Batman by Frank Miller and Todd McFarlane from Image Comics. This is from 1994. I just picked this up at my shop the other day, and it's in great condition. It's a square-bound book. On the back here, you got a little thing for Frank Miller and Todd McFarlane. This was $3.95 back in 1994, and this is a little inter-brand crossover between Batman and Spawn. And I just finished reading it. It was a lot of fun, I gotta tell you. Todd McFarlane did a great job with the artwork. The great Frank Miller, of course. Just the quality of the pages, the cover, and the pages. It's really incredible. But it starts off in Gotham City here with Batman, hunting crime as usual. I gotta say, whoever owned this before me, I just picked this up at the store. Great quality. Like, look at it. Still holding up all these years later. But so Batman is pursuing, a villain, and you see he's bleeding there, and you got all these great silhouettes of him. He finds this robotic hand, and then he finds a robot, and the robot's attacking him, and there's all kinds of great sound effects here. Clang, shrack, chud. And Batman's getting his ass kicked. You see him bleeding there, and he's just taking a whooping from these robots here. And he gets the upper hand and manages to attack it in the head, and it's actually a human head. And the human is saying, I can't feel my arms, I don't know where I am, I can't feel my legs, I don't know anything. And you see Batman rips the human head off, and the human head is still talking. It's still a living being. So then you get introduced to this Margaret Love here, Dr. Margaret Love, president of the Heal the World Foundation. And, keep that in your mind for later. But Batman's back at the Batcave here talking to the head there. And Alfred's like, we need to make you some chamomile tea. And that'll make you feel relaxed. And Batman's like, no, I can't relax. I gotta get to the bottom of this case. So Alfred's just like, well, what about the tea, sir? So then you get this nice shot of Batman, and he's out there. And then the news in the top right corner there is saying how there's a vigilante, killing innocent people in cold blood. And could the Caped Crusader finally be killing people now? What's going on? So Batman hears, someone's killing somebody. We got to figure out who's killing them. And it's Spawn. And just the artwork, great shots. The great, the pages of the single pages, the splash pages of Batman here, and then of Spawn. And so Spawn's out here. He sees there's this bum laying down there, and these guys show up and start pouring gasoline on him, and Spawn lights them on fire in response. And Batman sees this, and he sees that he's murdering people in cold blood. And you see, the look on his face. He shoots Spawn in the chest, and nothing happened. And Batman sees Spawn murder, the murderers, and Batman's not having it. So he starts beating the crap out of Spawn, and the two of them go at it. Like I said, these pages of the two of them going at it are really incredible. And they're going at it. Basically, Batman is pissed off that he's killing innocent people, and Spawn's like, well, they deserved it. So a big fight ensues. The great silhouette of Batman. And Batman's seemingly defeated. However, it's sort of a stalemate because Batman releases the toxic gas, and Spawn can't breathe. You see him, he's coughing. And Batman just, got his ass kicked, and he's just sitting there. And they just both go back to their homes. He goes back to the Batcave, and Spawn goes back to New York City. And they're both thinking about how they can overcome one another. And then Spawn runs into another one of those robots that Batman saw in the beginning of the book here. And as he's attacking the robot, he uncovers a computer here of that woman, Margaret Love, Dr. Margaret Love, and she's basically saying that's her whole plan and that sort of thing. And Spawn's like, oh, I know that she's the main bad guy. And once again, the robot has a human head in it. So she's basically using all these humans that are dead to operate her machinery, bringing them back to life in a certain sense. And then Batman sees the bat signal all the way from New York. He's like, how the hell is it in New York? So he follows it out there, and he finds Dr. Love here, and she's basically trying to put Batman against Spawn. And then you get a little piece of humanity with Spawn coughing, and then this guy saying, knew the day would come. We're all going to die someday. So then Batman swoops in with one of those mechanized arms from earlier and starts beating on Spawn again. They just start beating the shit out of each other. Spawn's using his magic, and Batman's just beating him, and they're just going back and forth, and there's really no clear-cut winner. And Batman's just saying how you have no discipline, and he's a stupid fighter, and he's a punk. Batman's more of an honorable fighter, whereas Spawn is using magic and all sorts of cheap tricks. And they go back and forth, and the two of them, they're both coughing and bloody and defeated, and it's a total stalemate. There's no clear-cut winner. And then they have all those, robots show up again, and Spawn's able to use his magic to, stop it. And you see Batman just lying there all defeated, and Spawn's able to talk to him in his head now, and all Batman keeps saying is, get out of my head, you lack discipline, and, you're a horrible fighter. I was going to beat you. And Spawn's like, no, well, it was a stalemate. And he shows that it was Dr. Margaret Love who's a killer. And, she had Batman go after Spawn, and now that Batman sees that she's a killer, he's like, oh, we got to work together. We got to stop her. So they finally form an alliance, and you get this great splash page of the two of them finally forming their alliance there. Great artwork by Todd McFarlane. So they're on their way to, she's on this boat here. They said the President of the United States was going to be there. All these other wealthy, famous people are there, and she's got this punch that is going to make her win them over, and she's basically saying that she's going to enact the New World Order to usher in a new world, a world free of pain and fear and war and crime and all the other evils and human willfulness. So she's basically the New World Order being ushered in here, but Batman and Spawn arrive just in time to save the day, and they do. So they're out there, and great artwork yet again, but not before she gets killed by Spawn, and then Batman's like, no, we gotta spare her. But right before she does that, they launch a nuclear missile, and it's headed straight toward Manhattan. So Spawn's using his magic, and somehow with his magic, they're able to stop the nuclear warhead, and they just throw it into the river, and the bomb has been disarmed, and they say, well, couldn't have done it without you. We got to meet with some breakfast, and we'll talk it over again. And Batman says we'll meet again. But Spawn's just like, we just saved the world. We saved the whole city, maybe the whole world. When the chips were down, we wound up on the same team, and neither of us could have pulled this off alone. What do you say we just bury the hatchet? And then Batman just throws a batarang. He says, bury this! And he throws it right in Spawn's head, because Spawn can't die, so Batman knows that it's not going to affect him. And then once again, that was the main splash page of the two of them teaming up. But overall, I had a lot of fun reading this. There's another page from Todd McFarlane, and then in memory of Jack Kirby. He died in 1994. God bless him. One of the greatest. Jack Kirby was one of the greatest artists in the history of comics. This effort is dedicated with respect to the finest talent any of us had ever witnessed. From Frank Miller and Todd McFarlane in memory of Jack Kirby. God bless. But great pickup. I got this at my shop. Great quality. Had a lot of fun reading it. Great nostalgia trip. This is the first team up with Batman and Spawn, and I think they met once or twice another time down the road. And Spawn is still churning out issues. I think issue number 306 is coming out Wednesday. So they're still going strong. Batman's still going strong. We got issue 91 coming out on Wednesday as well. And a lot of fun reading this from, a very long time ago, 1994. So thanks for watching, everybody. This is the Back Issue Binge. And stay tuned for some more comic book reviews coming soon, new and old. Have a great day.